speculative motive, it increases. Yes.
OM
It increases to how much?
OM1.
OM1.
It increases to OM1. Yes. And the equilibrium point shifts to which level? E1. Correct. Then again tell me what happens to the rate of interest and to the demand for money for speculative motive. What happens next? You can judge
Rate of interest
something
falls.
to OR
For OR to
Or dash
to
dash.
OR dash dash. Yes. Then
Yes.
next, what happens to the demand for money for speculative motive?
Increase.
It
Increase.
increases to
increase.
which level?
OM2.
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 And
Point
then what?
E2.
Point E.
We believe.
Which is the
E2.
equilibrium point? Ek minute, ek minute. Not
E2.
only one student at a time. Yeah. So the equilibrium point shifts to, yes, Prapti, tell me.
E2.
E2. Yes, right. So students, here you can see the rate of interest goes on falling down, and the demand for money, what happens? Demand for money for speculative motive,
Increase.
it goes on increasing. Correct. Because why this happens? Because I told you in the earlier lecture that when the rate of interest will be high, suppose if it is high, we do not go for such types of loans where we have to pay more interest. Am I right? So obviously when the rate of interest will be less, we will demand loans, right? So this is the same thing which is happening over here. When the rate of interest falls down, then only, the demand for money for speculative motive, it increases. So here students, what kind of relation you find between the demand for money for speculative motive and between the rate of interest? Is it a direct relationship or is it an inverse one?
Inverse.
Yes, it is an
Indirect.
inverse relationship. And why it is an inverse relationship? Because when the rate of interest falls, what happens? The demand for monies for the speculative motive, it increases.
Increase.
One falls, the other one increases. So
Increase.
here we have an inverse relationship. So just student, write one sentence, put a star mark and write one sentence below the diagram. Write down the demand for money held under the speculative motive, the demand for money held under the speculative motive is referred to as the demand for idle cash balances. Idle, IDLE, idle cash balances. Okay. Then I hope you have written that equation L2 equal to F into R. Okay. So tell me, what do you mean by L2 over here? What will be L2? According to you, what will be L2?
Liquidity.
No, not liquidity. It will be not liquidity 2. L2 will be the demand for money for speculative motive. Write down there. L2 equal to, where you have written the equation, no? Beside that only, you just in small handwriting write it down. L2, where L2 equal to demand for money for speculative motive. L2 equal to demand for money for speculative motive. Then R will be what? R will be the rate of interest. R will be the rate of interest. And F, as usual, F will be the function or functional relationship. Okay, now from this diagram, students, Find out the liquidity trap area. Which will be the liquidity trap area from the diagram? Tell me.
Point T.
From point T, you can see the curve becomes how? How it moves?
Horizontal.
Yes, from point T, the liquidity preference curve becomes horizontal in nature, becomes a straight line, straight
Upward.
horizontal line. No, no, not upwards. From point T पे देखो, from point T, the liquidity preference curve becomes a horizontal straight line. Okay, so that portion from where it becomes a horizontal straight line, it is called as what?
Liquidity trap.
It is called as the liquidity trap. I write on the chat box. Yeah. So that horizontal portion from point T, your liquidity preference curve from point T, it becomes how? It becomes horizontal. So the point from where it becomes horizontal in nature, it is called as what? It is called as the liquidity trap. Understood now, everybody? Clear? This concept is clear? Yes? Okay, okay. So we will go to the next topic. We have a slide over here. We have to see the slide. If you can see the slide once I present, just write slide on the chat box. Can you see the slide? If you can see the slide, interest is a purely monetary phenomenon. Please write slide on the chat box. Okay, so everybody can see this slide. Right. Now, students, there was a debate whether interest is a purely monetary phenomenon or not. Okay. And the main economist who had taken part into this debate, can you guess who was that? To whom we can find everywhere. He has contributed a lot in these concepts: money demand, money supply, everything. What will what will be the name of that economist? Yes, Charanya, you were saying something. You can unmute yourself and tell. Yes, Santoshi?
Ma'am, Professor James Keynes.
Yes, right. He was Professor John Maynard Keynes, that is J.M. Keynes. So he has contributed a lot towards this concept, that is whether interest is a purely monetary phenomenon or not. Right? Now we see here what were the points discussed in this debate. Okay. So first he told that in this concept of rate of interest and liquidity preference, where we include all three motives, that is transaction motive, we include precautionary motive, and we include speculative motive, certain real factors are ignored. Now, real factors are what? Are we talking about savings here? No. Basically, जो last वाला topic मैंने आपको बताया, demand for money for speculative motive, उसमें क्या होता है? In speculative motive, what do? We take advantage of the change happening in the economy. We take advantage of the situation. Okay. Now, in this, we are considering only rate of interest over here. Are we considering savings? Are we considering investment? What do you think? Are we considering these other factors, or only rate of interest we are considering? What do you think, students? I want responses from the boys as well. Yeah. Tell me, what do you think about it? Are we considering about savings here in speculation, or only interest we are considering? What do you think about it? Only interest? Yes, yes, right. Okay. So certain these real factors, like savings and all, they have been ignored. Okay. That is why it was questioned. Then apart from that, we always know that interest, according to Keynes, is parting with liquidity. But actually, in reality, what happens? We cannot have liquidity without savings. So savings is always necessary whenever we talk about liquidity. लिक्विडिटी प्रेफरेंस जब आपको थियोरी आपको स्टडी करना है तभी आपको सेविंग्स के बारे में जानना ही है. ओके, सो वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड अबाउट सेविंग्स whenever we talk about liquidity. Then next is James Keynes had criticized classical theory. There are two theories. One is the classical theory, one is the modern theory. Classical theory is the traditional one, old one, and modern theory is the new one. So James Keynes had criticized the earlier theory, the classical theory, and he told that the classical theory is quite indeterminate. And he told that it is indeterminate because interest is determined by the demand and supply of savings, okay, which he found it is quite indeterminate. तो उन्होंने क्या किया, क्लासिकल थियोरी को होल्ड पे रख के उन्होंने एक नया उस पे अपग्रेडेशन किया, and with this he found the new one, the new modern theory. Okay, then next is he concentrated on speculative demand for money by neglecting the demand for investment. But जबकि हम लोग जब लोन लेते हैं, that is also one type of investment we do, right? We take loans, that is also one type of investment. But he has not considered investment in that way. He did not speak about investment. What do you think? Loan taking is also one type of investment. Whatever loans you take either personal loan, or you take car loan, or you take housing loan, or you take educational loan. It is one type of investment only you are doing, right? But here, when we make such kind of investments, by taking loans, when we make such kind of investments, we are talking only about what? In speculative motive, we are talking only about interest. Are we talking about investment anywhere? No, we are not talking. So he has completely ignored investment concept under speculative motive. Then apart from that, the Keynesian theory explains determination of interest during the short run. He told that it is applicable only in the short run and it is not applicable in the long run. We know that the duration of short run is how short run duration will be 6 months. Max to max, it can last for 1 year. That is for short run. And for long run, the duration will be how much? The long run, the duration will be 5 years or even more than 5 years. Okay, so it is not applicable to that much level. It will be applicable only to the short run, according to Keynes. And lastly, we get no explanation about the different rates of interest. Rates of interest का क्या है? Rates of interest, it can be fixed, it can be flexible also. Am I right? Rates of interest can be either fixed and it can be flexible. So are we talking anywhere over here about flexible rates of interest? Are we talking anywhere? No. We are only talking general rate of interest. Are we mentioning whether it is fixed rate or whether it is flexible rate? हमने कौन से रेट पे लोन लिया है? Are we mentioning that anywhere? What do you think, students? जब हम speculative demand for money study कर रहे हैं, okay, are we specifying it that whether we are taking the loan under fixed rate or whether we are taking the loan under flexible interest rate? Are we specifying anywhere? No, we are not specifying. Okay, so we are generally just talking about interest rate. Interest rate will change and then the demand for money will change. We are talking only this much. Okay, so because of all these reasons, there was a question which was, put forward, that whether interest is purely a monetary phenomenon or not. There was doubt, you can say, which was raised, okay, due to this, due to all these factors, or due to all these points, all these issues by Keynes, by J.M. Keynes. Clear, everybody? Anybody wants to ask me anything? Yes, Soumya, you want to ask me anything? I can see some.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, tell me. Okay, she has asked a question, how can loan become investment? Loan can become like that only suppose you want to take loan. Okay, so it is what? It is later on when you have to repay the amount. Am I right? You have to repay the amount, and that time you have to repay with two things. One is what? One is you have to repay the principal amount, and you have to repay it with interest. So loan taking is always what it is always, it seems to be a burden for us. It is a liability, it is a burden. Okay, and this burden, it can become some investment because you take the loan for either starting a business or you take the loan for any other purpose. So that repayment thing, it is what? It is one type of investment only. It can serve like that because you have to repay it after later on. No, later on with the principal amount along with the interest. So that is why it is one type of investment. You are utilizing that money into somewhere, either for your educational purpose, either for your housing purpose, either for starting a business or any like that thing. Okay. Anyone? Any other questions? Anybody wants to ask anything? Clear? Okay. So students, for this chapter number 10, money demand, we have completed the topics, and I will be posting soon the study material and the questions. And tomorrow, same time, we have a lecture around 11 o'clock. We will start with chapter number 11, that is money and price level. Chapter number 11, we will start with that. Money and prices, we will start it tomorrow. Okay. Anybody wants to ask anything? Any difficulties? Any doubts? Clear? Okay, sir. Then goodbye. Take care. And fill your attendance, mark your attendance on Google Classroom. Finish it up fast. I hope everybody must have completed also. Okay, then. Bye bye. Take care.